Episode 9 of the Star Wars Andor series is here. There are only 3 episodes to go. The suspense is building with Cassian Andor, Mon Mothma, and a change in heart with Andy Serkis' character, Kino Loy. The Empire is closing in on the Aldhani heist conspirators, and Syril Karn is showing a different side of himself. All this and more coming up on this Star Wars Andor series, Episode 9, breakdown, review, and discussion. If you love Star Wars as much as I do, then you've come to the right place, because that's all I talk about. And I upload new videos, well, whenever I can, really. So if Star Wars is something you enjoy and care about, hit that subscribe button to stay up to date on all my Star Wars related content. Now, on with today's topic. Warning, there will be spoilers for Star Wars Andor Episode 9. If you haven't seen it yet, proceed with caution. First, I'll go through a brief synopsis of the episode, but stick around for my thoughts and in-depth analysis on what's going on. If you're watching Andor in hopes of seeing Jedi, lightsabers, Darth Vader, any of the Skywalkers, or really the Force in general, then this isn't the show for you. But as Andor progresses, most Star Wars fans will find that this series does not need those elements to make this a Star Wars show. There's another element that has been missing in Star Wars since Revenge of the Sith: suspense. Sure, suspense isn't something that's unique to the Star Wars brand, but the level in which we're getting will take you right back to the days of Star Wars old, when we were begging Anakin Skywalker not to turn to the dark side of the Force. Albeit Revenge of the Sith was a different situation, Andor evokes the same response. You'll see what I'm talking about in just a bit. Andor Episode 9 opens with Dedra Meero, the ISB agent self-tasked with finding Cassian Andor. Dedra Meero is beginning her interrogation of Cassian Andor's ex-girlfriend Bix, using a soundbite of cries from a race as they were being wiped from existence. Dedra Meero doesn't use normal tactics. Typically, an interrogator will ask a series of questions, hoping for a response without the use of torture. Supervisor Meero changes it up a bit. Yes, she asks the questions in the beginning, but she doesn't expect a response. Nor does she want Bix to comply immediately. She even acknowledges that she wouldn't believe Bix, even if she were telling the truth, thus showing us she really is looking forward to torturing her, as that is the only way Meero knows she will get the honest, full truth. And it worked. She obtained information about Luthen Rael, excluding his name, and about Cassian Andor himself. There are intermittent periods where we get more into Cassian Andor's prison situation. In short, he's planning an escape, but he needs information from his floor supervisor, Kino Loy, played by the brilliant Andy Serkis. At first, Kino Loy is unreceptive and continuously tells Cassian Andor to shut up, but he soon comes around when Ulfa, the elderly table-mate of Cassian, suffers a stroke and is killed. This alone didn't give Kino Loy the motivation to give Cassian information, but rather the rumors of an entire floor being killed and that no one gets out of Narkina 5 prison alive, as Ulfa lay dying. Syril Karn has been promoted in his mundane job, but at home he's still treated like a child, with his mother feeding him childlike cereal. His dramatic mother tries to put a guilt trip on Syril as to why his appearance is improving. He is resistant, but he finally tells her about his promotion. Uncle Harlow will be pleased. But the character shift in Syril comes when he shows up outside the ISB waiting for Dedra Meero. He's been stalking the premises for a while to thank her for her hand in his promotion and to tell her it's nice to have someone believe him about how Cassian Andor is really dangerous. She threatens him with a restraining order and imprisonment in the Outer Rim, but if she were really that upset by his creepiness, she would have done it right there. Think about it. She hasn't hesitated to punish or torture anyone she sees as a threat to her, nor the Empire as of yet. So, why is she hesitating now? We also have intermittent interactions with Mon Mothma. It's revealed to us that Vel Sartha, whom you'll remember from the Aldhani heist, is Mon Mothma's sister. That's a slight twist. But Mon Mothma is showing signs of regret for joining the rebellion, or rather her dealings with Luthen Rael. Vel tries to bring her back online by telling her that this cause is too great to abandon. Mon Mothma is also having trouble in the money department as she may be discovered for a rather large withdrawal from her family funds. one that will surely raise suspicions from the Empire. Luthen Rael isn't in this episode, so it's hard telling what he's really up to, but sometimes silence speaks volumes. We saw him in Andor Episode 8 trying to convince Saw Gerrera to join an attack against the Empire, asking him to join Anto Kreegyr. Saw refused, even calling Anto stupid. Well, Anto Kreegyr has been discovered, and maybe Saw Gerrera wasn't all that wrong. In all, this episode is setting up even more suspense than the previous episodes. With this being the beginning of the third arc of the series, things are getting intense. Although the most well-known elements of Star Wars are not present, such as the Force, lightsabers, Jedi, and so on and so forth. This show is panning out to be some of the best Star Wars storytelling in years. Now, hear me out. On one hand, that's disappointing. Most of us had hopes that the Obi-Wan Kenobi series would be the best. Although Kenobi was good, the Andor series is setting the bar really high for future Star Wars projects. Not only is the writing above par, but the acting and delivery is better than most anything we have seen since the beginning in 1977. No, I'm not saying this is better than A New Hope, nor The Empire Strikes Back, or any of your other favorite Star Wars movies or shows, but the acting is top-notch. The original trilogy is still my favorite, don't worry. With everything that's going on and the lack of pew-pew, I can see it's easy to discount the show as boring, and maybe action is your thing. We all like different stuff. But paying attention to the plot devices given in Andor, it's just as easy to get wrapped up in the building story, if you give it a chance, that is. Some people say they don't watch the show because we know the fate of Cassian Andor, and I can accept that. But at the same time, we knew the fate of Anakin Skywalker / Darth Vader before the prequels were made. Still, we enjoyed it. Kino Loy is becoming a deep character. Andy Serkis's acting is above standards. His words hold depth, but his expressions hold meaning. He doesn't have to speak to know what he's thinking. And the same goes for Diego Luna's performance as Cassian Andor, as well as most of the other cast. The Andor series is giving us something else that we haven't seen before in the Empire. Pure evil. And to accomplish this without Darth Vader hacking down rebels in a corridor or Emperor Palpatine spitting lightning from his fingers while laughing at his latest victim is quite an achievement. It shows that it isn't just the upper ranks invested in the destruction of any hope in the galaxy. It's also the junior ranks. And isn't that what Star Wars is about? Hope when there shouldn't be any? Well, this shows us how cruel the Empire is, how we should fear what they do, and that there should be no hope. Yes, there was a Death Star that killed billions of people in the original trilogy, but that left us largely unattached from the personal loss. Andor is giving us individuals affected by the cruelty of the Empire, and is showing us why the odds are impossible in Rogue One and A New Hope. Why there really is no reason to hold on to hope under this Imperial regime. Yet through the impossible odds that the Empire is giving, hope remains, and victory against tyranny will one day prevail. I'm really curious as to whom this new money source for Mon Mothma will be. We have a name, Davos Sculdun, but this person seems to be a middleman, or woman. Who is behind the actual loan, though? Chandrila alone can't be the source of the loan. They would be easily discovered and Mon Mothma will be revealed to the Empire. No, let's think about it for a second. Who Davos' connection really might be. And this is pure speculation on my part, so I admit that. But who financed both sides of the Clone Wars? The Moon Baking Clan. During the Clone Wars, they worked in their own independent way. Now, maybe the Empire has tightened their grip on the banking clan, and they have more government regulations. But they seem like a likely source for what Mon Mothma needs. I'm sure Star Wars fans would welcome the Moon back with open arms, and probably more so than if it were the Hutts offering to help. We don't need to return to Tatooine. Let's let that one rest for a while. In all, I'm loving the series. When it's all said and done, I'm sure the fans of this Star Wars series will want to go back and rewatch it to pick up on clues missed the first time around. But those who don't like it are within their rights. There really isn't a lot of action yet. Maybe there will be in the next 3 episodes, but prepare yourself. It may be along the lines of the Aldhani heist, where everything culminates into one episode of action. and that's okay. This show is definitely character and story driven. The action will be welcome, but let's just enjoy the characters for now. But let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. Even if you don't share my opinions, diversity in opinion is one thing that makes being a Star Wars fan so great. Just as the Star Wars universe is diverse with races and cultures, we too are diverse in our ideas. This is Gerald from Star Wars Fanatics signing off, wishing you all great health, happiness, and peace. Thank you all for watching, and remember, this is the way, the only way.